Good morning, comrades. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Nürburgring. I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas or just simply holidays. And now with the new year approaching, it is time to think of priorities. Maybe you want to get in better shape. Maybe, like me, you want to become better organized and not procrastinate too much like I'm doing right now by shooting this video exactly like on the evening of its release. But when it comes to track driving, of course, you can become a better driver, invest in your driving skills. But when it comes to improving your lap times, you need to prioritize corners. And since this channel is focused on Nürburgring NOrdschleife, we are going to talk about the most important corner today. You may be under the assumption that it is Brunchen. Because you've seen so many accidents happen in the YouTube corner, or maybe Schwedenkreuz because maybe you've seen a car do a front flip or something else. There are actually two ways of looking at this. So actually Brunchen or Schwedenkreuz could be the most important corner for you, because as a driver you always need to focus at the corner that you find the most challenging, that you have the most difficulties with, or better said, that you in relation to other drivers do worst at. But in reality, the most important corner of a track is the corner that leads to a straightaway, or actually, even better said, a corner that has the highest speed before a straightaway. So in this case, that would be Galgenkopf, a corner that leads to the straightaway of Döttinger Höhe that is currently being resurfaced. If we are talking full track layout, so the full Nordschleife, or maybe even Nordschleife and the GP track combined. But since the majority of you are actually driving TF layout, so to say bridge to gantry, which lap timing is of course illegal and prohibited and you shouldn't be doing, in this case still Bergwerk is a very important corner, as also mentioned by the race lap record holder David Pittard recently in one of my videos.
And then Bergwerk's an important corner for lap time, because now we are full gas for a long way up the hill. Wow. Climbing from the lowest point of the circuit to one of the highest.
So what is the proper way of taking Bergwerk so you can set the fastest qualifying lap time or just a lap time in general? Well, first of all, you have to know that it heavily depends on a car. You cannot have just a general golden rule, but you can of course have some pointers that will explain to you so you can start practicing taking this corner safer. But it really depends on the type of car that you're driving and all the factors: tires, suspension, brakes, aerodynamics, horsepower even. Why horsepower, you might say? Because actually it's not Bergwerk itself that is important. It also depends on what is happening before that at Axmühle. For example, the overall lap record holder, Porsche 919 Evo, is doing 308 km/h through Laude Links before it starts braking at the first traffic sign, to 142 km/h through Bergwerk, and after that it starts its attack on the Kesselchen climb. On the other hand, the current lap record holder for the fastest production car, the Porsche GT2 RS MR, starts braking almost immediately after Laude Links when it's doing 235 km/h, so lower top speed but earlier braking, and it slows down to 114 km/h in Bergwerk before it starts accelerating again towards the straight. We can actually take it even further and look at what the racing Dacia Logan is doing. Actually, I don't think we have time for that, because otherwise this video is going to be way too long. So in any case, before I will proceed with giving you pointers on how to take Bergwerk from cockpit perspective, I think it's also very important to include this following fragment that I filmed during my participation with Scuderia Hanseat racing course back in 2019. And on how to take Bergwerk was explained by Daniel Schwerfeld, who is a racing driver and instructor with far more experience than I have. So we've now arrived at Bergwerk, and let's see how we should do it properly.
Yeah, it's a very short, das heißt Anlauf.
Approach.
It's a very short approach. Normally, if you're in a fast car and you're really fast, you're not scared for a louder left. There. These guys here, the first time here, this is the section where Niki Lauda nearly lost his life. So it's a very famous part of the track. And with a GT3, it's up to 210, 215 or 220 kilometers. It's really fast. Now the approach is a little bit tight, and but still we have this situation now, and yeah, you start from the stop sign, and for the approach to Bergwerk, it's really difficult to find here the perfect entry, because you come from this part and you have the feeling the corner begins here, but the corner begins 20 meters later. Yeah, it's a late apex, and where I parked the Alpine in this part, I'm still in the corner, and what it makes for me much easier in the last years is when they make this fence, they make it new and they bring it more to the track, and yeah, comes 2 years this sign, 125 sign. Now you come out of the Nikola left, go up out to the middle, yeah, a little bit track out to the middle, and with my eyes, I'm here on this sign. And this is not the entry point. Yeah, this is much too early. But for your eyes, for the view, this is perfectly. Yeah, look to the sign, make it straight. It's a nice braking area, and after the sign, begin softly to steering, not like that. Softly, and you come perfectly in to Bergwerk. Yeah? Carry a lot of speed inside the corner, because the most people brake to this point, stop here with braking, and see, oh, okay, I have 20 meters left. Yeah, you can brake much longer into the corner and carry a lot of speed into this section.
I really have to thank Daniel one more time for this amazing explanation, and check out his website allfortrack.de, where you can find calendar with all the track days, and you can also book driving coaching and a lot more. And of course also Scuderia Hans Seat, where I filmed this fragment, because they specialize in driving trainings on the Nordschleife, where the track is actually divided in sectors. So if you want to learn how to do Bergwerk or any other corners, it would be the best way of starting. And now let's see how it looks like from the onboard perspective, from inside the car. And in the beginning of the video we of course talked about the 919 Evo or the GT2 RSMR, but I'm going to assume that the majority of you who are watching this and want to learn something from it are not paid factory drivers. So let's start actually by looking at important visual reference points. So first of all, you have on the left side the curbstone of Lauda Links towards you have to aim, and depending on your speed you would end up either on the middle of the track or maybe closer to the right side of the track. And then you have to start moving closer to the left side, and the braking point, usually with the average type of car, I used to say that the exclamation mark is actually a good starting braking point. Maybe even brake a bit before that to be completely certain. And after that you can of course extend your braking point, so start braking later towards the actual apex. As Daniel mentioned, a good reference point is the 125 sign, the white sign. After that you stay as long as possible close to the end of this so-called rumble strip. It's not really a curbstone, from where you start moving towards the right curbstone of Bergwerk. And once you are at the right curbstone, you can go flat out with pretty much any car, because it's also one of the grippiest surfaces of the track, because this is where all the rubber is laid. It is a very sticky portion of the track. However, in the wet you have to avoid that surface and stay on the outside, where you do not have all this rubber, which is basically as slick as ice on wet days. But this is something for another time. And now finally let's see how it looks like in motion. I decided to show you the fragment of me driving one of my overall favorites of this year that I drove, the 450 horsepower all-wheel drive BMW M140 X-Drive. Why did I go for this car? Because it's faster than an average car, but it was also the very first lap that I drove with that car, which was a quite powerful car, but overall very well balanced. So I decided to play safe, because of course I didn't know the car, it's also not my car. So here you can see what I did. The entry towards Lauda Links was not completely perfect because I had some traffic behind me, so I had to stay off the line, but you can see that I start braking at the exclamation mark sign towards the 125 sign, and once I'm at the end of the rumble strip on the left, I go smoothly on the gas towards the right curb zone before flooring it completely to the outside and proceeding with the climb. I guess that's pretty much all I had to say when it comes to taking Bergwerk. I can explain to you more, so you can reach out to us at Apex to book a driver instruction. But finally, I want to tell you that again, safety is far more important than chasing lap times. I also need to tell you that unfortunately earlier this year, the only person that lost their life was actually in Lauda Links because he was traveling quite fast through it. There was an oil spill and also lack of marshalling services. So always be careful. Safety is absolute priority, and since I already mentioned the passing away, which I did also previously, I will include one more time the donation links to PayPal and a bank account, so you can, if you want to support his family. Sorry to end this video on such a sad note, but I felt that it had to be done since we're talking about this corner. Right, let me know in the comments below which other corners should we talk about next. If you like this video, of course, subscribe, like, share, etc. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on my channel, and otherwise also at the Nürburgring in real life. See you, bye bye.